So have you ever wanted something and you did a bunch of stuff that you were told you should do, or you thought you should do, or that other people that are successful did because you thought it would get you what you wanted, and then you still didn't get it? Like, for example, let's say that you wanted more money. You wanted to change your financial life. You wanted to get rich. And then you saw everyone was getting rich doing one thing. Like they were in this certain multi-level marketing, or everyone was in real estate, or they were buying cryptocurrency, or they were YouTubers, right? So you did that because that's what they did. But then you didn't change your financial life. Maybe you ended up even more broke because then you had to spend some money to get there. Or like, let's say that you wanted a relationship. You wanted to get some hot honeys or some good looking guys on your case. And so you did what, the dating coaches on YouTube said to do, and you did all these techniques and you did the specific things, and you still didn't get it, right? You did the things, the activities, the techniques, the methods, the right things, the perfect things, the things that you're supposed to do, the things you should do, the things you thought you should do, but you still didn't get it. The only reason is because you don't get what you do. That's not how you get it. You get what you are. So the fastest way, and really the only guaranteed way to get exactly what you want, is to shift your identity. And when you shift your identity, then you change your reality, and it happens very quickly. And so whether you want more money to come into your life quickly, whether you want a new job, you want shifts in your health, in your happiness, in your friendships, in your romance, this is exactly how you get what you want. Now, you may have heard somebody talk before about identity shifting or shifting your identity. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of abstract. It's hard to grasp, how do I do it? And really, your identity is your personality, and really your personality is a collection of habits and memorized emotions. And so the key then is to change your memorized emotions. And when you change your memorized emotions, you will change the amount of money you attract into your life, or love, and what have you. And so I'm going to go over the 3 fastest ways to shift your identity. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of things that you can do for each of these 3 steps. Only one of them is needed. So I want you to, whatever one speaks to you the most, do that one. But there's 3 important areas, so make sure you watch the entire video because we need to go over all of them. And if you haven't yet, I have a free Success Hypnosis MP3 that you can use to reprogram your subconscious mind. We always think we need to work harder, but really we need to change our subconscious, because Stanford University proved that 95% of our life is subconscious. We have 60 to 65,000 thoughts and behaviors every day. Most of them are negative, most of them are redundant, and they're blocking us. So if you change your programming, you can actually change your reality without doing anything. So I have a free Success Hypnosis MP3. About 1 million people from all over the world have downloaded and used it. And every day I get these epic stories of people's lives changing and quickly getting this and that into their life. All you got to do is listen to it for a couple minutes a day. That's it. You don't have to do any special techniques, and you don't have to do a new strategy. Just listen to it, maybe before you go to bed. It's free to use, jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. And let's dive right into this. So the first step to shift your identity is prompts. So a prompt puts you into the identity of already being it. So a prompt that can put you into the identity of somebody who has money, when all your life you've been someone who struggled financially, or maybe all your adult life you've been in debt. So your identity is someone who is in debt. So you need to shift that. So the first way to do that is oogling. This is just like a word my wife and I invented 10 years ago, where basically what we would do is we would go on walks, and instead of just talking about whatever, we would go and pretend we were talking about what happened from our new identity. So I'd be like, wasn't it amazing now that, or wasn't it amazing when that? And I would just talk like, Wasn't it amazing the last week when my new YouTube video went viral, and this is like when I had 2,000 subscribers, and then I would just talk about it. Now I have hundreds of thousands. So you can do that for anything. You could do it for a house, you could do it for your soulmate, you could do it for your business, for making X amount of dollars, for your health. Now, you may not have someone to do it with. It's fun to do it with someone because then it's like kind of like you're doing improv acting. It's pretty fun. But you can do it by yourself. We just think about how much time we spend in the car and we waste it listening to music, which is just kind of brainwashing us. So what I would do is just turn off my music and I would do it out loud to myself. Remember when? Wasn't it amazing when? And then just allow yourself to riff like that. What'll happen is eventually you hit this flow state. And when you hit that flow state, everything you're saying starts to carry more weight and more emotional charge. And that puts you into the vibration of the new identity. The second thing on prompts is hypnotic writing. Hypnotic writing is when you write in the present tense. Like when I was a kid, when I was in English class, we always did free writes. If you did free writes, you could let me know down below in the comments. So basically my teacher would set a timer. The only rule was you were not allowed to pick up your pen. So you had to keep writing and so then you weren't blocking yourself and whatever came out, come out. Sometimes I come up with the craziest stories ever. They were just, I don't know, it's what came out of me. Well, it's the same idea, but you are hypnotic writing in the present tense about your desires coming true. So this is basically you in the identity writing in your journal about the great things that happened today or last week or this year. So it's like beginning with, I am so happy and grateful now that, and write it in the present tense. I just attracted my soulmate. I got my new house. I just made 4 extra sales in real estate. This happened. Oh my gosh, I just lost 10 pounds over the last 3 months because I went to the gym every day and I finally quit processed foods and processed sugar. So this is hypnotic writing. The way that I do it is I listen to my success hypnosis, because hypnosis is about basically detangling your 5 senses from the evidence of the world. So you get a new feedback loop of information that is conscious as opposed to reactionary to your environment. So I listen to my success hypnosis and then I just write about how my books are published and I'm getting translated across the world and my videos are going viral and it's so amazing and isn't it great? And I just write in detail like that. I have this much dollars in my bank account and I own my house in cash, and I would just write like that. And while I'm listening to success hypnosis, it becomes an anchor. So then there's less of a tendency to go back to the old identity. And it's like, this isn't true. No. Let me think about this. So it cuts it off. That's hypnotic writing. So if you haven't yet, you can get my free success hypnosis. Don't get it yet. It's jakeshypnosis.com, because what we're going to go over is super important. So if you're with me here still, you can give me a comment down below. I'm with you, Jake. I'm with you, Jake. My free success hypnosis is pinned as the top comment, or it's in the description of the video. It's jakeshypnosis.com. Now, the last for number 1 on prompts is to put yourself there. We have a tendency when we're in our old identity to think of what we want. Let's say I make $20,000 a year and I want to make $200,000 a year. That's my goal. I make 20. So I think of making 200,000. Yeah, that'd be so cool. It'll be great when it happens one day. Here's all the cool things I do. That's me thinking of it. It is a destination in the future that I may or may not get to. It's better than just like, I'll never get there, but you are not in the new identity. What you want to do is think from it and feel from it. So you're already there. You've assumed the new identity before the outside world has changed. Now, what my wife and I did when we first moved in together many years ago, we were broke and I wasn't able to break through in my business, and we wanted to go on vacations and do all this stuff, but we couldn't do any of it. So we thought, like, what would I do if I already was that person? If I was already rich, what would I do? Well, I'd, rent a hotel on the beach in Maui or something. Well, I couldn't afford that quite yet. So what we did is we drove like, an hour and a half to Ventura, California, where we could get a cheaper hotel. We got it on a weekday where the rates were cheaper, but I got a suite for one night that was ocean front. You could hear the waves while you slept. You could see it from the bathtub. And I didn't have enough money to go to dinner too, so we got little burner plates we could cook, and we allow us, which I think is illegal, so don't actually bring burner plates. But it would allow us to stay in the hotel so we could stay in the feeling of it, a feeling from it. And we were stoked. We had the best time ever. We did it for one night, and we felt from it. We were there. We're all rich. We was like, yeah, we're on the 10th floor. Yeah, you're on the 2nd floor. Like, we were in that energy of being there, thinking from it. So you may do the same thing. If you were rich, maybe you'd get a massage every week. Well, maybe instead get a massage once a month, right? Or it might be to go test drive a new car. And that car you want, you test drive all the time. You test drive it once a month. Or it might be starting to look at the houses that you wish you could get, but you don't have the money for them yet. So you're not looking at them. So you're not thinking from it. You're thinking of it. So instead you get 5 different real estate agents. So then none of them get sick of you. And then every week start walking through the homes you want. So you're thinking of it. You're like, oh, I would do that instead of that. And I do that instead of that. And I don't really like the way the wall's painted like that. This is putting you in it already. So now you're in the identity. It's no longer something in the future that may or may not happen. You've shifted your identity. You're at a new vibrational set point, which will change your behaviors, the things that you attract into your life, and your reality in general. Okay, number 2 is props. So number 1 was prompts. Number 2 is props. The third one is going to be a P2. So for props, one of the things that I learned was from Tony Robbins when he was younger, and he learned it from his mentor, Jim Rohn. And when he was broke, Jim Rohn told him to get the amount of money, whatever his goal was to make per day, to get it in cash and carry it around in his wallet. Don't spend it, but keep it in his wallet all the time. And I remember when I first did it, I set my goal, whatever it was, 200-300 a day or 100 a day or something. It was weird too, because I didn't want to lose it. But that's not the identity of being that person, right? Let's say you made $1,000 every day for the rest of your life and you knew it. Would you worry that much about dropping your wallet somewhere and losing $1,000? Yeah, it would suck, but it wouldn't be the end of the world because you make $1,000 a day. What's the big deal, right? So what I started doing was putting the cash in my wallet. So every time I'd pay for something, that's a prop. Every time I'd pay for something, I had a tendency to be like, what? That's $47. I thought it would be $17. What a ripoff, huh? Right? Like, it's going back to the old identity when we're paying for stuff and things like that. So you could put cash in your wallet as a prop for the amount of money you want to make in a day. Or you could do what Jim Carrey did, which was he made a fake check. It's that famous clip from Oprah way back in the day. And Jim Carrey made a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and he was a broke actor. Well, he carried it around with him every day, looked at it, visualized it every day. The first movie gig that he got was for $10 million, and it was for Dumb and Dumber, and that was pretty much to the T exactly what his prop was. The next thing you could try is an index card, and I learned this from my mentor, Bob Proctor. Bob had me write down what I wanted in the present tense on an index card and start carrying it with me everywhere. So I started thinking from it, feeling from it, getting excited about it, and activating those cells in my brain before it happened. So I wrote on this index card when I was a college dropout, and I had 1,000 YouTube subscribers, and I was making no money. No one would publish my books. And I wrote on this that I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a worldly successful author and thought leader making millions of dollars and inspiring millions of people. And I would write it I just bought a stack of index cards. So whatever, if I lose it, no big deal. Funny story on that. One thing I would do is I'd put them on the machines at the gym I was using. And so I'd put them on the Stairmaster. So I would just stare at them the whole time while I'm 30 minutes on the treadmill. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a world successful author making millions. And I would 5 million times I'm getting this impression and I'm starting to dwell in that identity. And one time, one of my buddies, I wrote one that was more vague, I'm so happy and grateful that large sums of money come to me quickly and easily. So my buddy, one day when I was at the gym, he's like, dude, you're not going to believe what I found on the treadmill. And he held it up. I'm like, let me see that. I'm like, that's mine, dude. So my point is that this prop allows you to, instead of going back into the old ways, your attention gets distracted by the old identity, you are essentially diverting your life force, your attention energy, and directing it into the new identity and the new reality. Now, the third and final way is personality. So we have our prompts, we have our props, and then we have our personality. Think about it, your personality really is just a memorized set of emotions at the end of the day. Those emotions control our thoughts and our behaviors. So your personality, you could say, is a collection of behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. But at the core, the emotions control everything else. So if you think about it like this, we try to change our reality doing techniques, right? And so we're thinking about what you want. You're like, my goal is I want to be successful. I want to make $100,000 a year, or maybe you even start doing affirmations. I'm making $100,000 a year. But if you made $100,000 a year, would you remind yourself all day long that you made $100,000? No, because you already made it. It's normal, right? It's the same way. You don't go on a walk and say to yourself, I am successfully stepping my left foot and right foot. Or I am good at breathing, right? I am good at pumping blood from my heart through all the veins and vessels and organs in my body. I'm good at this. Thank you. I'm doing this good, right? You can give thanks for the fact that your body's doing it, but you don't have to remind yourself of these things because they're already an automatic pattern. In the same way, you want your new identity or personality to feel automatic. And the way that you do this is by focusing on the emotion or the end result. So one of the easiest ways to do this is to ask yourself, what would you feel like if something occurred? For example, part of my identity, as I talked about, was I wanted to be a successful YouTuber. And so I was like, what would that feel like? All right. Well, if it happened, maybe I'd sit down at the computer, shake the computer mouse, refresh the Safari browser, and holy crap, 5 videos just went viral, and now I have 100,000 subscribers, and holy cow, this is epic. And then I'd go run and tell my wife, right? What does it feel like? Shaking the mouse and all that are just things, but the goal of them is to evoke the emotion. I feel really excited, right? So now I'm not thinking, man, I still didn't get that viral video. And then I feel what? Frustrated. I feel afraid that it might not happen. Instead, I want to feel the emotion of my new reality, which will allow me to cement my new identity. Now, what I invite you to do is pick or describe or detail what it would look like. One of the easiest ways to do this is to go onto Google Images or through magazines and get the pictures of what you want. So something that I did that was really cool, in the movie The Secret, John Assaraf talks about how he made a vision board and it was for a certain house that he wanted, and then he was moving into a new house, and his kid found his vision board and was like, Dad, it's our house. And I was like, yeah, right, that's ridiculous, but whatever, I'll try it. So I did that, and it was pretty crazy because about a year ago, I bought my wife her dream house. And so I was moving out of my old house, and I had printed all these images, And my daughter likes to come into my office because I have a big chalkboard and she likes to write on my chalkboard while I work. And that's where I have my vision board. So she walks in and she goes, "Dad, that looks like our new house." And I was so busy moving and all that, I haven't looked at my vision board. It was not the exact house like Asraf had to happen to him, but it was pretty dang similar. Living room, all glass, opening up to the pool with a mountain view behind it. Bedroom opening up, all glass, looking out over the mountains. And I was so busy I didn't notice. And it happened like almost exactly. So what I did is I would print these images and I would sit there at the wall staring at them. And once I could see them really clearly and I'm looking at them long enough, I would close my eyes and then I would practice still seeing those pictures that were really on my wall. And then I would practice entering them. And then I would practice acting them out in my mind and feeling the emotions of them. So you feel the emotions of surprising your husband or your wife or your mother or your father with their dream home or with their dream car. Or you imagine all the conversations and excitement of buying a super nice RV or travel trailer to take your 3 kids and your spouse across the country in the summer and having a bunch of fun. And you imagine the conversations and taking them to pretty lakes and all this type of stuff. And it gets you into the feeling of that. And when you start to do that every day, into the feeling of it, you memorize the new emotion. And that's why it's so important to use success hypnosis. So I invite you to get my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description. It's right there down below, jakeshypnosis.com. Turn it on and let it play. Print the images out and then practice moving through this mental rehearsal technique of acting as if you already have it and practice feeling the excitement, the joy, the love, hearing the screaming voices, yeah, woohoo, this is awesome. Shaking hands, with your new clients, whatever it is, practice entering that. That memorizes the new emotion. Harvard did all these studies, which I've talked about in other videos. I won't really go into it at length. But they found out the brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. And they used fMRI machines. And they found out that if you imagine an activity like playing the piano, you have the same neural activity as actually playing it. So what happens is those new emotions of me practicing walking through my dream house, of me practicing having a big YouTube channel, they activated cells and I built a new brain. I changed my identity. I started living in that identity and feeling that identity instead of feeling the emotions of my old reality, so that I became a match for my new reality. Because you don't get what you want, you get what you are. So if you shift your identity, you change your life. Or as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, change your personality and you change your personal reality. So if you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Wishing you a beautiful day. Take a deep breath in and out. Put a smile on your face because you control your reality and you can feel the emotions of your desires before they happen. And now that you know this, you hold the key to changing your entire life. So make sure you get my free success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com, pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. If you enjoy this video, let me know in the comments down below. I'm with you, Jake. I'm with you, Jake. Hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification. You can click right here to watch another video.